What is up, everybody? Scott here, back for another lesson with Scott Jackson, part of our Daily Fill series. And today we are continuing our conversation about the eight great habits for a great practice. And this one's a little bit more broad. I don't know if you've noticed, but our topics have slowly gotten a little bit more broad in terms of the concept behind them. And today we're going to talk about dominating your mind with success. Now, what I mean by that is everything you want to put into your head, you want to flood your mind and dominate your mind so that all it hears, all it sees, all it comes to know is success, positive stories, positive clips of audio, books, all of that stuff. You have to completely flood and control what goes into your mind. There's a great saying that you think as far as the information you put in, or something like that, right? So it's basically what you put in is what you get out, is what I'm saying. And the point behind this is that if you are thinking negatively, or you are thinking that you can't do something or you won't be able to do something, you will never achieve whatever that is. You know, when I first started playing drums, I didn't really have any idea of it. I just wanted to start playing. I wanted to be in a band and go on from there. And then I hit this phase of about maybe three years where I was just really not confident in my abilities. And it was because I was starting to be stretched in all these different directions. And I had quit the primary band that I'd been in, which was like a heavy metal band. And what I did is I started stretching, and I joined a jazz big band. I joined a Latin band. I just went and joined all these different bands. So I was being spread out in all these different directions. So I didn't have any confidence because I had no knowledge. So I used to tell myself, oh man, Jude, I suck. And I got this from Peter Erskine. Something he told us was this story about how when he went to a lesson with a teacher, the teacher told him, you know what, look at this snare drum etude here, and I don't want you to play any of the right notes. And so he did that, and he just played a bunch of random notes. The teacher goes and he opens the window and he says, now look out the window. Did the world end? And it's, no, it didn't. Nothing really happened. So the point of that was, even if you make a mistake, nothing really happens, right? Nothing changes. You want to control your mind. That's the big thing I've learned over this past month, is the control of your mind is huge. So let's talk about your goals. So we've mentioned that before. Now, if you want to write a goal down, you don't just want to write it once. I think last week we talked about finding successful habits. One successful habit is you want to wake up, write down your goals, and before you go to bed, you want to write down every single goal you have. If you have like 25 goals, you're going to be writing a lot. The second thing is you want to read them out loud as you write them. You want to say them out loud, and you want to write them in a way as if they've already happened. So let's say you want to master double stroke rolls. I would write down, I am going to, not I am going to, you would put, I have mastered double strokes. I have mastered a double stroke roll, or I have mastered this particular linear pattern that I am working on. Do you see the difference? There's a difference between I am going to, or just putting master double strokes by 2019. It's too vague. You have to put I have mastered. I have already done this, because it puts your mind in the state of, you know what, I already have this done. And it creates the intuition for your mind to work on all the problems all at the same time. And you have to do this. You have to go in and you have to freaking dominate your mind with positivity and success stories. One thing you can do is listen to interviews of other drummers, what they have done. You can read quotes every day from other drummers and how to aspire to be like them. It's not just about the technical side. There's too much to music to actually become just a technical player. Something I have recently picked up is I've started meditating twice a day for about 10 minutes each session. And I've noticed that my mind wanders every 3 seconds. It goes into, oh man, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do this. when really what I need to be focused on is what I am at that present moment. And that has started to leak into my practice routine where if I'm practicing, I'm not thinking about what I have to do at work or what I have to do to the yard or what I have to clean up at home. I'm solely trying to put myself in the moment and really focus more on what I'm doing. And I will say this, that is a success habit that I think everyone should adopt is meditation. It keeps your mind calm, it keeps you cool, and you build self-awareness. I think that's the key thing is building self-awareness. And that's another way you can flood your mind with positivity because in a meditation state, you're not going to be thinking negative at all. So let's talk about different ways you can sort of block out and only bring in positive and success feedback into your brain. One is if you know anyone that is negative or likes to talk a lot of shit or talk a lot of smack, replace them with another friend. You want to keep bringing in new people who are like-minded. You want to bring in positive people, right? Keep bringing in more positive people, and those people that are negative will slowly just kind of work their way out of your inner circle of friends. So those are two things. Find positive individuals who really are positive all the time. Like it's like to the point where they're so enthusiastic and they're so happy where it's like, you're even other people are like, dude, how are you happy all the time? You know what I mean? You want to find those people and then you want to get rid of people around you. Maybe don't even watch news, man. There's so much negative stuff on the news nowadays, especially with how politics are going. It's like, dude, come on, like calm down. There's obviously solutions to this. And that's number 3. And number 4 is you want to read positive books. You want to read, especially drum related books. Biographies are fantastic because you can go through those and look at a musician's life objectively and just figure out how they go about things and understand that music is much bigger than just, learning a bunch of rudiments and stuff like that. It's very much so a life process as well, because as you experience more life things and life stories, it kind of intertwines with your music. And the fifth thing I want to get into is that you don't have to hang on or cling to any of your old ways. And I think that's a huge one, especially in practicing. There's constant things that, for a few months, a method might work for me and then it stops working for me or it's not as effective and I have to change processes. So the fifth thing is don't cling to the old ways. You know what I mean? Because there's always things that are coming out that might be a little bit more effective. And the key point for this week is that if you're clinging to those old ideals, most of those old ideals that you're doing, whether it's in your practice or just in your group of friends or family, if you have a lot of negative people around you, the old things are going to be negative. So you have to bring in new things that are positive and that are filled with success. And another thing I might tell you is that if you do have a journal, you should start writing down your successes, at least 10 a day. And it can be anything. It can be like, dude, you know what? I woke up on time. I woke up when I was supposed to. I woke up at 6 a.m. when I was supposed to wake up. I got to work on time. I taught a really good lesson today, or I played a great gig tonight. All of those things will add up and they'll help your brain switch into a positive state. Another thing is you want to smile a lot. I mean, just try to be happy all the time. So something I've been doing is while I'm practicing, I'll sit there and just, I'll think of how cool it is that I'm doing this. Like I'm able to practice for 20 or 30 minutes a day, or sometimes even an hour. And it's started to make me smile and genuinely smile. So this week you have to dominate your mind with success and you have to dominate your mind with positivity. Don't slack off on this. You have to practice. It's no different than when you're building your muscle, right? You're sitting there doing some curls, you know what I mean? Doing some curls, getting swole for the ladies, getting swole for the dudes, whatever, freaking, it's the same thing. You have to practice this. And my wife and I are doing it. And to be honest, it's a lot of fun, man. It's so much fun. I'm doing this with my students. I crack jokes with them more often. I smile more. When I'm teaching them a new concept, I'm smiling the whole time because it helps them be more receptive to that information, even if it's challenging. So that's it for this week, man. Take the time to make sure that you are pumping in nothing but positivity and success into this guy right here, because what you think is what you are, basically. You know what I mean? What you think is what you are. So make sure you check out our other shows. Like always, we freaking appreciate you guys checking us out and listening to us. But make sure you check out Rich's show on Wednesdays where he's talking all about your business. And then on Fridays, we got our main interview with the drummers that we bring on. And man, we got some killers coming up. I tell you that right now. We got some good players coming up. We just booked Steve Pruitt. We've outreached to a lot of heavy hitters, trying to get them on the show. I mean, it's going to be nuts, man. It's going to be crazy. So make sure you stay tuned to all the new stuff we got coming and dominate your mind with positivity and success. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. And I will see you next week. Have a great week. Go practice.